Meg.
And Hannah.
And birthday girl Hannah over here. It was Hannah's birthday yesterday, so we're going to be celebrating Hannah.
Yes.
I didn't even introduce our channel. We are cooking and gaming.
With Meg and Hannah.
I'm going to be
Meg's had an evening.
I've had an evening. I don't have air conditioning at my house. My phone has been acting really weird, and as I was preparing all of this, the drawer that I pulled out to find birthday candles literally just fell out and spilled everywhere. So we're just like living our best life right now.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and pop this so that way Meg can reset. That's what we're gonna say. We're gonna say it's a reset. I spent a really long time picking this out on Instacart, so
I'm really excited.
It better taste good. I am not I don't pick the most expensive wines. I pick the ones that are the cheapest that sound the best.
I love it.
This is it should be the best temperature now because it's kind of sweaty. It is a Rosé Brut, and it's called Parmesan, which is kind of perfect because we're kind of making Italian.
Oh, yeah,
we're making
right.
pasta.
Yes, we had to also change our meal last minute.
Oh, yeah.
Because my home chef was late. Well, we have another home chef. Nice. So we are doing Parmesan steak pasta. Yes, creamy Parmesan steak penne with peppers and onions.
And as you can see, we already have a pot of water boiling because unlike the last pasta we made with home chef, we actually have to cook the pasta, which I really don't care. But
I mean, I don't because you're doing it. So.
But we went ahead and pre-boiled the water and like prepped things. I haven't cut up things, but we got all the steak strips out. So, do you want to pour our wine?
I would love to.
Okay, I'm gonna set it on the counter. Thank you. All right, so we're gonna start off. We have our boiled water with a little bit of salt in there, and we're gonna cook the pasta for about 10 to 12 minutes, and then Meg and I are both going to remember that I need to keep some of the pasta water. I always forget, but I need to keep some of it. So,
am I going to break something? I think I am.
Really hope not. Okay, so we just added our pasta, and just going to give it a little bit of a stir, so it doesn't get stuck to the bottom of the pan.
I can do that if you need.
Sure.
It seems like something I could do.
Yeah, I think you're fully capable. Okay, so while our pasta cooks, we're going to prepare everything else. And so that includes, thank you. We can cheers.
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 Cheers to y'all.
It's good.
It's really good.
Very pleased. I'm going to turn this on a tiny bit. Okay, so we have a red bell pepper. We have our green onions. I called them leeks the entire video last time.
Yeah, you did.
We've got 3 cloves of garlic. We're going to be smelling real nice. A regular little brown onion. And some other stuff to make the sauce. But we're going to start with doing all of this. So I'm going to start with the red bell pepper. And I'm realizing now that the pasta water is blocking it, but that's okay.
Oh.
So we're going to start by taking the top of the bell pepper off. So I usually kind of cut around it, and then I'll yank the top off.
I yanked my top off.
Also, Meg and I are very cohesive tonight with our
Yes,
outfits.
we are.
And I love it. I was telling Huck last night that I just love when there's a good cohesive moment.
Yes.
For my birthday, we were kind of cohesive. Or when we went to Drive Shack
nice.
On Monday night for my birthday with my family, so that way he could come.
Nice.
Work, and we were cohesive, and it just made me so happy. And then my mom posted the cutest birthday post yesterday.
Yes, she did.
And she definitely didn't notice this, but all the pictures she posted, everybody was cohesive in all of them.
Wow.
And one of them, my dad and I are both
Did
wearing
you
a blue
really?
shirt and
Wow.
white shorts. And Huck and I's engagement photos on there. We're both wearing black.
I
to
love
show
it.
how happy we are.
Yes.
In black.
Morning, yeah, I get it. Just kidding.
And there were some other ones. Oh, there was a family beach picture where all of us are in blue and white.
Wow.
And that was not planned at all.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe you just attract aesthetics.
Maybe.
Where you
That's
go.
probably what it is.
It probably is.
Okay, so I yanked yanked the top of the head of the red bell pepper off, and then I cut mine in half like this, and then I like sliver out the white part.
What was that word?
Sliver it out.
Sliver it out.
Yeah.
I have Chanel's here.
And then I cut it into quarters to like get all the other whites out. And there's a name for them. I think membrane's not the right word, but I'm gonna say
I feel like it might be a membrane, or at least I always have it in my head that it's a membrane.
Well, that's what I'm gonna say it is. It's a membrane.
It's definitely a membrane. Insane in the membrane.
I was just thinking that. So I'm gonna go ahead and just like quarter these. Chanel is doing something naughty.
She just unlocked my back door.
Oh my.
By herself.
Oh no.
That's very
Yeah,
not good.
keep
I mean,
an eye on
fortunately,
that
she wouldn't be able to like
teenager.
slide it, but still, like not great, Bob.
Yeah, you gotta keep an eye on that teenager of yours.
Seriously.
Okay, so I'm also getting out all the seeds from the bell pepper.
That's my least favorite part of having peppers.
Just like scrape them with a mini. And I sometimes, if I'm just like trying to hollow out a bell pepper, I'll just like smack it on the side of like a plate.
Okay.
Sometimes it works.
I kind of like that.
And then I think it's not that I need to cut these into slivers. Then strips.
You have used the term slivers many
Slivers.
times already, and I'm excited about it.
Slivers.
Slivers.
So I'm going to take each of my quarters. So I have quartered the bell pepper. That means that there's 4 sections. In case you're not familiar with what a quarter means. And I just kind of cut straight down. I don't cut against the skin. I cut like from the inside. From the inside down.
Sorry.
So you're good. Just make little strips. I used to eat bell peppers all the time.
Really?
And like the little mini peppers, you can buy them. in a
Those are
bag.
my favorite.
Yeah, they're so good.
I would just get like a little thing of ranch and dip the whole thing into like the ranch and just like,
Love it.
just like,
Ranch, just.
do I need to preheat the oven? No.
But you do need fun. So here's a tip. Wooden spoon over a pot of boiling water makes the bubbles go down. To an extent. If it's like really bubbling, it won't.
Oh my god, it worked!
It's magic.
Yes, science! That's awesome.
I don't know why it does that, but it worked.
It has to be some reaction, like with the wood.
Right. And no, we're not using the oven, so
Okay.
we're using a bunch of pans.
Okay,
on the
I
stove.
can't wait. I actually anticipated that, and so that's why I hadn't done the rest of my dishes, because then I figured I would just like do them all at once.
There you go. Love that.
Because I'm trying to minimize my like activities
I get that.
because it's hot.
I do that. I
So.
do that when I have AC.
Like I haven't done laundry at all this week, and I really need to.
I mean, I just did grocery shopping for the first time in like 2 weeks.
Fair.
And by that I mean I placed an Instacart order. But I was planning to go to the grocery store, and then I just had so much work that I had to do that it did not happen. She's back. Back again.
Chanel is back. Up front.
Okay, and then we're going to trim and thinly slice our green onion, which is not a scallion.
Or a leek.
Or a leek.
So I have a dumb question,
Yes.
potentially. How do you know it's a brown onion versus another kind? Because to me, that doesn't look brown.
What color does it look?
And tan orange.
Well, because if you were at the store and there were a bunch of onions like in the bins,
Mm-hmm.
even though I trim that down a tiny bit, there would be a red onion, which it looks purple.
Oh, yeah.
You know it's red. And then there would be another onion that's going to look more yellow than this. And then
Okay.
there's another one. Sometimes this is called a sweet onion.
Oh, okay.
And then,
So basically, we call onions certain color onions, and the colors that we call them don't actually match which color they are.
correct.
Cool. Awesome.
And they all, well, except for like a yellow and a brown onion look the exact same on the inside.
Okay.
Like they're both.
But that one's sweeter.
Should be. They didn't specify this type of onion on here, So,
Okay.
but I would say that it's brown. It's definitely not a yellow onion.
Yeah.
A yellow onion is they're usually a lot bigger too.
Okay.
And much more yellow.
Interesting. Yeah. The more you know.
The more you know. So, I feel like when I used to do these home cooked meals, and I used to get that other box, they used so many green onions. It was they used green onions in everything, which is fine. I just don't understand why.
Yeah, actually, I think I've noticed that too. I just think that they use onions a lot in general in these kits.
They definitely use onions a lot. I've just never, I don't think I have ever, since I stopped using the box, I don't think I've ever been at the store and been like, you know what, I should grab some green onions.
I could really go for some green onions.
I just honestly can't really tell when there's a green onion in something.
Yeah. It really doesn't have a lot of flavor.
It really doesn't. Especially I've also never understood the point of just garnishing food.
Mm-hmm.
When it's cut up the green parts to garnish. I'm like, why?
Yeah, right.
It just seems like extra work.
It's
really
okay, Emerald Lagasse,
okay.
I'm sorry,
by the time I'm done eating, and I guess I get it for Instagram aesthetic, but we've been garnishing food way before Instagram.
Yes, we have. There's that, I think it's on You've Got Mail, the movie, which, by the way, terrible movie. Mm-hmm. I have a very big issue with that movie. But anyway, it's really funny because Tom Hanks is putting caviar, that's a garnished caviar onto his plate, and Meg Ryan's like, "What are you doing? That caviar is a garnish!" And he just takes a huge spoonful and puts it on his plate.
Oh my gosh.
Very sassy Tom Hanks.
Very.
Also, speaking of Tom Hanks, he has made news today because a bunch of fans came up to he and his wife, Rita Wilson, and one of the fans tripped his wife by accident, and he got really mad. Everyone's like, "Oh, Tom Hanks went off," and I'm like, "Yeah, he tripped his wife."
Yeah, did she fall?
Yeah, she tripped. She could have, and then so he was like, "Back the fuck off."
Yeah, because you just don't know with people.
Right.
It could have been intentional.
But I believe the BBC's headline was Tom Hanks shouts at fans. And I'm like, Tom Hanks is a national treasure. We are not turning our backs on Tom Hanks. Thank you.
So now I'm cutting up this onion. I have cut the tops and bottoms off to make it easier to peel, and then I cut it in half, which also makes it easier to peel. And now I'm going to throw away the skin. And then for this, we're not cutting up as thin, so it just said to cut it into slivers. It's to actually eat.
Are we gonna drink every time you say sliver? That's four. Slivers, little sliver drinks.
I don't really know what other word to use.
I know. I like it. I don't think I've ever heard you use the term sliver, and then I've heard you use it 4 times now. I'm here for it.
Slivers. Yeah, I really don't know what other word I would use.
Sliver me timbers. God, you're so funny.
You're hilarious.
I am. Thank you.
I don't even know what it says on here. It says slice halves into thin strips, but I like the word sliver better than
way
strip.
better. My mom uses the term sliver a lot. Especially my grandmother used to, when she lived with us, before she passed away, she always had pastries that she would have literally Danishes for dessert, after every single dinner.
I love that.
And a lot of times at lunch. Yeah, it was great. But she'd always be like, "I think I'll have a little sliver." And just
that's so
take the whole
funny.
thing. Yeah, it's German. She likes her Danishes.
I'm trying to think if my mom made me a pie for my birthday, and the size of the pieces she was handing out were quite generous, which I ate the whole thing. So
I love it.
I'm not complaining, but my dad definitely asked for a smaller piece, but I don't remember what he said. But it wasn't sliver.
Sliver. Maybe he said, "Could I please have a small piece?"
He probably said I want half of that.
Yeah, half of that, please.
Okay, and then the last thing to do is mince the garlic.
I have a thing.
You have a garlic. Oh yeah, I hate mincing it. So
I think this is what it is called.
The garlic press.
Yeah. I think so.
If you don't own a garlic press,
Is this it?
you should get one. I think so.